updates from Kamal Adwan. So I'm gonna zoom in here so we can see that on the map. In Philistine. Oh my god. Uh, it's just right on the top part of the Rafah, uh, beyond the Rafah border crossing there in Gaza. So just at the south there. And I looked it up, and Kamal Adwan is not. This is insane that it's showing that. Like, this is the updates from Kamal Adwan. Because when I looked up Kamal Adwan, it showed me a elementary school. I think. Either that or a hospital. I think it might have been an elementary school, though. So, either way, the location that they're at has, like, nothing to do with being tied up and humiliated, and potentially, ready for execution. I mean, what? They're sat in front of a tank, aren't they? This is, yeah. So this is, updates from Kamal Adwan, Friday, October 25th at 3 p.m. in Gaza, which was roughly about 12 hours ago, generally, I would say. Um, so the updates are yesterday, Thursday, October 24th, early afternoon, Kamal Adwan was not besieged. Afternoon, heavy shelling on Kamal Adwan. Evening, tanks withdrew and went into Beit Lahia as the UN trucks arrived with some fuel and medicine. Today, Friday, October 25th, 6:30 today. Director of Kamal Adwan Hospital. Yeah, so it was a hospital. In northern Gaza, the windows of patients' rooms in the hospital were shattered due to the ongoing Israeli bombing. Director of Kamal Adwan Hospital in northern Gaza. Injuries among the hospital's medical staff due to the ongoing Israeli bombing. 7 a.m. today. Tanks surround Kamal Adwan Hospital north of the Gaza Strip and target its departments. This is normal, guys. This is totally normal. They're the chosen ones, guys. I mean, what did they say? They have something under the hospital? They didn't say that this time, but surely, guys. I mean, it's just, really. The United States too. We also know better because if they have weapons of mass destruction, then we gotta get them. But I think those weapons were something else, weren't they? I don't remember what they were. But because it definitely wasn't that. It was something else that they were actually going after out there. They were just being discreet about it. A part of that is that, like, a part of the convenient thing about all this is that, like, they're destroying history in this process of all these bombings. They're destroying historic sites. And I'm not just saying in Gaza, I'm saying, like, worldwide. Like, that's what was going on in Syria and so many other places. When they do these things, they're destroying the evidence that they have been participating in human slavery on, like, this global cult has been participating in human slavery since the beginning, practically. And that, not only that, like, we have traces of us being an advanced civilization, of being an advanced race of people, but we're in the Stone Ages right now. Isn't that what they say? We're in the Stone Ages with our technology. You want to chime in on that real quick, Brad?
Yeah, like, it's like 100 years behind. Like the apparent secret space program and the classified physics and stuff that they've developed and reverse engineered from apparently other civilizations off of this planet. One of the sources, among many. But they're hiding it behind the classified paywall. And I mean, we know there's more than 6,000 patents that are basically not available to the public because they're classified, and they're a national security secret. 6,000 patents.
Dang. And that's a lot of that is things they stolen, right? That's the whole point of Nikola Tesla dying broke.
Yeah, well, the first thing they did after he passed away was they said that all of his documents, he was, just a crazy guy, and then they took all his documents and classified them.
Nice.
So it doesn't
Legit.
really jive together. But, I mean, one of the weird things is, like, Trump's uncle was apparently one of the guys involved in collecting all of Tesla's papers when he died. So, like, there is actually some kind of, like, weird Trump-Tesla connection that some people have, like, I mean, I don't know for sure. Don't take my voice's word on that. I'm just saying I've heard rumor.
What do they call his uncle?
My dad.
A Trumpkle. Or Trumple. Trumpkle. Something like that, right? Trumple?
Yeah. Before they changed their name to Trump, it was Drump. Trumf. Or PH at the end. Donald Trump would be his name.
No way.
Yeah, Donald Trump.
You said grump or
like
rump?
No, Drump.
Drump.
Drump. Yes.
Nice.
Here, spell it here.
Okay.
Rum. Not Drumpy. Rum. There you go. Or else put it in the chat. Rum.
You put it in the YouTube chat?
Can you imagine?
Good.
If it was like.
Oh,
They
nice.
elected Donald Trump
Drump.
into office. I mean, like, I think, I really do think one of the reasons why he is so successful, is because his last name is Trump.
Dude, that's so funny.
I'm not kidding. I think
Dude.
that's actually one of the things.
We need to start a campaign of exposing the goofiness in his last. That explains why he's such a goober. He can't escape it. He tried to mask it with this Trump ordeal. No. I see through your little ways. Huh?
He's the king of debt.
Yeah. He's the king of thickness, too. Not really. He's kind of been losing weight, right? Put that weight back on, Trump. It's good for you. But he should put on the vegan weight instead of at McDonald's. Gosh, get out of there. He literally put the fries in the bag, bro. Okay, I had to say that. I had to say that once. Okay. So let's get back to the tea here, which is the important tea. This is the news. So let's...
is unacceptable,
Whoa.
as are all other forms of bigotry. There's a difference between
There is a difference. Thank you, Hassan. Okay. Yeah. So 7 a.m. today, which is now yesterday, if you're in the East Coast time, tanks surround Kamal Adwan Hospital north of the Gaza Strip and target its departments. Gaza Health Director, a number of children were martyred in Kamal Adwan Hospital after the Israeli occupation bombed the oxygen station. 9:20 a.m. today, Gaza Health Director. The Israeli occupation siege of Kamal Adwan Hospital led to the martyrdom of wounded people who were prevented from reaching it. 9:30 a.m. today. Director of Nursing at Kamal Adwan Hospital. The occupation forces stormed the complex and evacuated the medical staff and the injured from it. This is looking very familiar because this is what was going on at the very beginning 1 year ago. And here we are now. And it's continuing. 9:50 a.m. today. The occupation army. And this is the moralist army in the world, guys. They're bombing a hospital. You know what? If y'all ain't been in the loop, they've been bombing preschools. They've been bombing everybody. And the thing is, they've been bombing preschools before October 7th. I saw images of preschools completely obliterated with little toddler bodies on the ground, Palestinian baby bodies on the ground. I saw all that years before this. I've been doing research on this years before this. They've been baby bombing the whole way. So if you come out in here into this chat and you thinking some, oh, the most moralist army in the that stank. That stank, and I can smell it through the mic, okay? You need to detox that sensation that be going through your brain all toxic and nasty, okay? Anyway, getting back to the tea. 9:50 a.m. today, the occupation army, through loudspeakers, orders patient nursing staff at Kamal Adwan Hospital in the northern Gaza Strip to go down to the hospital yard. Okay, do you think that sounded like what's his name from Batman? The dude that's got the muffled mouth? Like, what's his name? Like, what's that dude's name? I'm trying to remember what his name is. He's the dude that, like, raised, Batgirl.
I don't.
You're not a huge bat dude. Okay. Yeah. But I imagine that's how insane it sounded. And you know what's ridiculous about this is that, like, everybody in Gaza is being, like, gunned down by literal clowns. Like, cuz these can't even call them people, okay? These creatures, these things, these little things that they are, the IDF, they're literal clowns. They might as well be wearing a clown uniform when they're out there doing what they do, acting the way they act. Good golly, cause they be writing their woes. They be sowing them seeds. They be digging their grave. Cause it's like they be taking a picture. What, like within the first couple months, we had people taking pictures, like haha, like spray painting people's houses. What, 3 months later, 2 months later, that person be dead. Who's crying? Who's crying? Maybe the people that supported a baby bomber. This okay. 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 I'm gonna reel it in. I'm just getting a little salty over the fact that, people be bombing babies out here. Okay. I'm just saying karma's coming for these people. We're going to be talking about those stories. They will be incorporated in the coming podcasts. We will be talking about the instances of people that make proposals, these IDF that make proposals to their wife. Oh, will you marry me? Written in the satanic Hebrew on the wall, and their spray paint all nasty. And then, what, 1, 2, 3 months later, and then we hear the news that that person has been hit by the resistance forces, and guess what? R.I.P. Now she's a widow, or a not married widow, whatever you call that, a widowed fiance. Okay? So they're shameful, living a shameful life, and I don't even know, honestly, I'm under the impression, because you saw what we were looking at earlier, the married man, his wife was taken out. Given that story, it shows me that these creatures that call themselves humans, that call themselves Jews, that are really just Zionist parasites, they've never felt a day of love in their life. Quite clearly. Because they're so hell-bent on destroying every bit of love and joy and happiness in this world. We can only assume that the spirit of the Israeli creatures and Zionist creatures dies in. The tea was a little too hot. Clearly. A little too hot. Okay? the spirit dies in these folks a little too early in their life. That's all I'm saying. That's the only way we can read these things. That's the only way these things happen. Their spirit died so early in their body to the point where it's just a country of jinn just piloting human meat flesh vessels. Okay, let's get back to the tea. 10 a.m. today, head of the Euro-Mediterranean Human Rights Monitor. The occupation army kidnaps Abod Bata from Kamal Adwan Hospital, subjecting him to torture, then taking him to an unknown location. There are serious concerns for his life. He has now been released and is posting about the experience. So, all in the time of preparing this and getting this ready to go, he went through all this and came back out. 11 a.m. Excuse me for getting a little too loud. 11 a.m. The occupation forces women and children to leave Kamal Adwan Hospital towards the Indonesian hospital in preparation for their exit towards Western Gaza via Salah al-Din Street. The occupation forces arrest dozens of citizens from Kamal Adwan Hospital in the arrest. I'm not going to use that term, arrest, okay? It's just the connotation of that term. I mean, unless we can look up the etymology and see if that really is. I just want to say the word, okay? I'm going to say what it is. The occupation forces kidnap dozens of citizens from Kamal Adwan Hospital in the northern Gaza Strip, force them to take off their clothes, and gather them in a large square. Okay, let's just say it like it is. Occupation forces human traffic dozens of citizens from Kamal Adwan Hospital in the northern Gaza Strip. Force them to take off their clothes. That's what people typically do when they traffic them. Expose their bodies, use it for their own means, right? And gather them in a large square. Until now, their fate is unknown. The terrorist occupation army, the most moral army in the world, guys. Let's give them a break. Just give them a break. They're just having a bad day. Anyway, the terrorist occupation army kidnaps and human traffics a number of citizens in the northern Gaza. Okay, you got me heated, okay? That you can hear it in my voice, okay? This is the blasphemous image of what is coming out of the south of the Gaza Strip. This blasphemy. Yeah. Yeah. So this is another reminder to use the hashtag Israel Epstein connection. We gotta hit them where it hurts. They're in a big old web satanic cult. The dead man, this may be something that people don't want to hear. The dead man switch for Epstein getting caught and exposed was the Corona Chan virus. It came out immediately after. They were planning on doing a little bit of World War III with Iran. And then they were like, up, 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 up. The virus, it's ready to go. We got the plans. It's ready to go. Let's go. Come on, Bill. Release your fluids into the atmosphere, Bill. You know, those billion-dollar fluids, Bill. Yeah. And then, you know, everybody had to ritualistically cover our mouths with a mask. And that is something that Kathy O'Brien's child had to do as a toddler from the ages of roughly like 2 or 3 to the ages of 7. Her daughter, while she was held as a sex slave, her own daughter, who also was that, because she was, you know, they were trafficked and mind controlled and all that. her daughter, basically had to wear one of those surgical masks on her face from that young age till 7, and there were more than one reason for that. The main reason, though, for the cult practices was for her and other children like her to lose their identity. And the other reason, obviously, was to cause, health problems. Because realistically, if you're restricting somebody's oxygen like that during those that vital time span of development, while they're doing that simultaneously, the whole unidentifying, taking away their identity, it's making them so disabled while they're going through that they cannot cognitively see outside of that and think outside of that. So it's like being high on like laughing gas or something that would make them more susceptible. Being high on some sort of a drug. A drug called oxygen deprivation. See, I'm something of a scientist myself. No snare kick? Okay. Alright. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. Okay. As I was saying, I digress. Use the hashtag Israel Epstein Connections. Israel Epstein Connection. And we need to get a campaign going. Everybody that cares about Gaza, this is the Achilles heel. This is one of the Achilles heel. Because technically there's like 2 Achilles heels on a human. But they're coming at it from a biblical sense. Because they like wrote the Revelations playbook. So they're like that weird beast that has all the heads and the crowns and whatever. So I don't know how many Achilles heels that thing's got. But maybe if we could look at that book, maybe we got like 3 Achilles heels to go after. Anyway,